According to the majority of feedback on my last video, you guys wanted me to talk more authentic and less performative. Well, got it. Thank you for all your feedback, but today we're talking about rule horror. A niche type of horror that not only scares us but also sends a bolt of panic through our veins. What is rule horror and why does it scare us? I'll explain everything in detail, so stay tuned. Since childhood, most of us have been taught that breaking a rule will lead to consequences. Whether that being a spanking by your parent for smoking a cigarette or getting sent to jail for a bank robbery. Rules are here to keep us in line, so we can keep a civilized society. But what happens when the rules doesn't make sense, and when the consequences are mysterious, but you can feel like that breaking one of them could lead to a very terrifying outcome? That is exactly what rule horror is. A sentence like, if you see someone that looks exactly like you, run away and hide immediately, makes us really feel on edge. Why would there be someone who looks like me, and what would this person, or more likely this thing, do to me if I don't hide? I wanted to include a rule horror I stumbled across on Instagram Reels so we all get a better idea on what rule horror is.
If you ever wake up in a place that looks like your home, but something feels off, you may not be safe here. You must follow these rules. 1. Check all of the clocks. If the time on each clock is different, you are being watched. Do not look out the windows. If you happen to look out the window by accident, close your eyes immediately and look away. 2. If you hear someone call your name from another room, do not answer. No one else is here. If the voice gets closer, hide until the noise stops. 3. The rooms will seem endless. You must keep moving, and no matter how tired you get, do not sit on the furniture. You may never be able to get back up. 4. At exactly 3:23 a.m. you will hear knocking. If it comes from inside of the house, you have exactly 1 minute to find the exit. If you hear footsteps coming from behind you, then it's already too late. Good luck.
Now why would a video like this scare me so much while scrolling reels late at night? Well, firstly, the horror really succeeds due to the mystery. It just leaves our minds to wander to the worst case scenarios, making us feel powerless against the consequences of not following these rules. What happens if we look out the window? What does it mean that we are being watched if the clock shows different times? And what is behind us at the end if we hear footsteps? I believe there's a scale of the more detailed the rules are, contracted with far less, if any, explanation about the consequence is what really makes or breaks an attempt at rule horror. You don't get to fight back. You don't even get a fair shot at understanding what you're up against. It's all about obedience, survival, and the uncertainty. It makes you paranoid, scanning your surroundings for anything that might be a rule you weren't told about. And honestly, that's way scarier than a jump scare or CGI ghost, well, at least to me. Also, sometimes the rules feel almost reasonable, like don't answer the door after midnight or don't talk to someone who calls you using your own voice. But then something unexplainable like don't sit in a chair or something throws us off. What also terrifies us if we imagine we would be in that scenario. How would we keep track of all these rules, especially the ones that lack logic? We feel overwhelmed and panicked that we have to remember so much in so little time, and our lives are on stake. What's really terrifying is when the rules conflict. One tells you to stay in your room, another one tells you to run if you hear a knock. So which one do you break? Which one kills you? That kind of horror gives you no good answer. It's like being in a moral panic loop, but with your life on the line. It kinda reminds me of the game Emily is Away, where you'll get hints on how to survive the dolls in the game. But sometimes the hints are lies. So if you are supposed to stay still and not make any sounds, the whiteboard will say something like that you should run away. Considering these rule horror videos, it really makes us wonder how much of these rules are there to throw us off and get us killed, and which one are legitimate. I mean, can we really trust in everything? Are we that broken already in this situation that we will follow orders without questioning them? Who is to say the one pretending to help us isn't the one who's after us? Rule horror sticks with us because it whispers one terrifying idea. The rules are already written, and you were never meant to survive them. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any feedback for the channel, thoughts on the subject, or perhaps something you'd like to be covered in the next video, please share in the comments. Also, over 90% of you watching aren't subscribed. It would help me a lot in creating more videos. Anyways, that was it. I love you all, and do remember to follow the rules.